The first day of the Harmattan winds had arrived in Ilé-Ayàn, and the village lay shrouded in a blanket of mist so thick that even the tallest Iroko trees seemed like shadow giants in a forgotten world. The drums of the town square were silent today, replaced by a sound that only the old ones noticed, the whispering of spirits beneath the earth. Oba, a boy of 13, ran barefoot across the dusty paths. His laughter echoed through the empty huts, but inside, his heart thumped with a fear he could not name. For generations, the elders of Ilé-Ayàn had spoken of a curse that lived beneath the village, a curse older than the first rains and older than the first drum beats. Oba, stay out of the bush today, warned his grandmother, Iyaige, her voice trembling as if the wind carried secrets. The spirits are restless, the gods are watching, and Eshu, he is not patient. But Oba was drawn to the whispering. Something in the air called his name deeper than his own heartbeat, and he did not understand why. Long ago, before the village had been built, Ilé-Ayàn was a land of plenty. Crops grew in abundance, rivers sang to the people, and children ran free without fear. Then came a stranger, cloaked in red, who carried a staff tipped with a serpent's head. He spoke to the elders, promising prosperity, wealth, and protection from harm. The elders, blinded by greed, accepted his offer. But the stranger was not a man. He was a messenger of the gods, a tester of hearts. And when the first rain came, it washed blood instead of water into the fields. Cows died in their stalls, children fell ill, and at the heart of the village, a single tree, twisted and black, bore no leaves, its roots deep in the soil, guarding a secret the villagers dared not speak. Iyaige told Oba, that tree holds the curse. It waits for the one it has chosen. Oba felt a chill. For years, he had heard the whispers, the rumors of a child destined to either save or doom Ilé-Ayàn, and he knew in the marrow of his bones that it was him. It happened at noon. The sun glared over the village, burning the earth into cracks. Oba wandered too close to the forbidden bush behind the black tree. The wind stopped. The birds fell silent. Even the river seemed to hold its breath. A shadow rose from the roots, tall and twisted, yet it shimmered like fire in water. It spoke in a tongue that Oba somehow understood. Oba, child of destiny, the curse stares. Will you obey or will you run? Oba froze. His feet felt rooted to the ground. He wanted to scream, to call his grandmother, but no sound escaped him. The shadow moved closer. From it, he heard 100 whispers, each telling a different fate. One said he would die, another said he would rule, one said the village would burn if he made the wrong choice. And then a voice he recognized, the oldest voice in the village, spoke. Oba, the gods demand courage, or they will take you like they took the last chosen one. The wind returned, but with it a scent of ash and iron. The shadow vanished, leaving Oba trembling. The black tree loomed before him, silent, watchful, and more alive than any living thing he had ever known. That evening, the elders gathered in the town square. Their faces were masks of worry and fear, carved by decades of secrets. The boy has seen the shadow, murmured Baba Fala, the oldest of them all. The prophecy begins. Iyaige clutched Oba to her chest. You must hide your fear, Oba. The gods are testing you. One misstep and Ilé-Ayàn will pay. Oba's mother, long gone to the spirit world when he was a baby, seemed to appear in his dreams, a glowing figure warning him, Oba, the balance is broken. The one who bears the curse can either restore it or destroy us all. That night, as the wind howled and the village slept uneasily, Oba stared at the black tree from his hut. He didn't know what lay ahead, but the whispers of destiny were now a drumbeat inside his chest, unstoppable and relentless. In the darkness of his hut, Oba dreamed. He walked through a river that shone with stars beneath the gaze of a great god, tall as mountains, eyes like molten gold. You are chosen, the god said. The spirits stare. Eshu tests the courage of all who dwell in Ilé-Ayàn. Will you obey the path, child, or will you run into shadow? Oba froze, screaming, but when he opened his eyes, he saw something impossible. A small mark on his palm, a serpent coiled in gold, glowing faintly. Iyaige gasped. It begins, she whispered. The boy carries the mark of the gods, the curse it will not wait. And outside, the black tree shivered. By dawn, the village of Ilé-Ayàn was silent. Even the children were too afraid to speak. The elders whispered prayers in secret, and Oba's shadow stretched longer than it should have. From the black tree, a faint light pulsed, as if counting down to something only the gods knew. And in the wind, a voice carried over the huts, unmistakable. Oba, the time is near. Choose wisely, or all shall burn. The story of Ilé-Ayàn had begun, but no one, neither child, nor elder, nor god, knew the horrors yet to come.
The mark on Oba's palm did not fade with the morning light. As the sun climbed slowly over Ilé-Ayàn, its golden rays touching the roofs of mud huts and the tips of the iroko trees, the serpent symbol glowed faintly, like an ember buried beneath skin. Oba kept his hand clenched, hiding it from the world, but he could feel its pulse, slow, deliberate, alive. The village woke differently that day. Women who normally laughed as they fetched water from the stream moved in silence. Men avoided each other's eyes. Even the children sensed it. Their games were quieter, their laughter forced. Something unseen had crossed into Ilé-Ayàn, and it walked among them now. By mid-morning, the elders summoned Oba. They did not send a messenger. Instead, Baba Fala himself came, leaning heavily on his staff carved with symbols of Ogun and Orunmila. His eyes, clouded with age, sharpened when they fell on Oba. The gods have touched you, the old man said quietly. There is no hiding it. Inside the shrine hut, the air smelt of palm oil, old incense, and blood long dried into the earth. Wooden images of the gods lined the walls, their eyes hollow yet watching. Oba stood at the center while the elders formed a circle around him. No one spoke for a long time. Then Baba Fala began to chant. As the words rolled from his tongue, the air thickened. The walls seemed to breathe. Oba's chest tightened as if invisible hands pressed against him. When the chant ended, Baba Fala raised his staff and struck the earth once. The prophecy awakens, a child marked by serpent and fire, born of blood and silence, one who will stand between gods and men. A murmur rippled through the elders. Another elder, Iya Molenike, shook her head violently. We have walked this path before, she hissed, and it ended in death. At those words, Oba's grandmother cried out, "My child will not be sacrificed to your secrets." Baba Fala's voice dropped. It may not be our choice. That night, Oba dreamt again, but this time the dream was not gentle. He stood in a forest where the trees bled sap like tears. Drums thundered from everywhere and nowhere. Fire danced on the ground without consuming it. Before him stood 4 figures. Ogun, towering and scarred, iron fused to his flesh. Shango, eyes blazing, thunder crackling in his clenched fists. Orunmila, calm and endless, holding the chain of destiny. And behind them, smiling softly in shadow, Eshu. Every path has a price, Eshu said, tilting his head, and every price demands blood. Oba tried to speak, but his voice failed him. Orunmila stepped forward. You were born of a broken covenant. Your blood carries what the elders buried. The ground split open. From the earth rose visions, men bound and screaming, a child offered beneath the black tree, elders chanting while averting their eyes. Oba saw it clearly now. The curse was not punishment from the gods, it was payment. When Oba woke, his pillow was soaked with tears he did not remember crying. The next days revealed truths Ilé-Ayàn had hidden for generations. Oba learnt of Adesegun, the boy who came before him, chosen, marked, promised to the gods. When Adesegun's power began to manifest, calling storms, speaking to spirits, The elders panicked. Instead of honoring the covenant, they broke it. They offered the boy to the black tree, silencing him forever. But gods do not forget. The curse deepened, changing shape with each generation. Crops failed when hope grew too strong. Children were born sick when joy became loud. And now destiny had returned, angrier than before. Worse still, Oba learned who he truly was. His mother had not died in childbirth as he had been told. She was Adesegun's sister. When she became pregnant, the elders hid her away, fearing the curse would strengthen through her bloodline. She escaped into the forest, gave birth alone, and died days later. Oba had been returned to the village in silence. He was never meant to survive. As the truth settled into Oba's bones, his mark burned hotter. Strange things followed him now. Fires lit themselves when he passed. Metal sang softly near him. At the river, the water rose to greet his feet. And always, in reflections, he saw a shadow that was not his own. The village could no longer pretend. On the 7th night after the mark appeared, thunder split the sky, though no rain fell. The black tree screamed. Roots tore through the earth, cracking huts and swallowing paths. Villagers ran, screaming prayers to gods they had long betrayed. From the tree emerged spirits bound in smoke and fire, the restless echoes of broken promises. At the center of it all stood Oba. Eshu appeared beside him, smiling as usual, and said softly, "You stand where truth meets terror. Will you finish what they started, or will you burn it all down?" Oba looked at the village, his home, his prison. He felt the pull of destiny tighten like a noose. And then he heard a voice he had never heard before. "Son." A woman stepped from the shadows of the tree, her form half spirit, half flesh. Her eyes were Oba's own. "My mother," he whispered. She reached for him. "The gods are not your enemy. The lie is." Before Oba could answer, the earth shook violently. The elder's shrine collapsed. Fire raced across the roots of the black tree. And from deep beneath Ilé-Ayàn, something ancient began to arise. Something even the gods feared.